What is going on, everybody? You are back on another edition of Ballin Over Beers. I am Justin Dupengeiser, and I am joined, as always, by my guy, AK Howe. This is the PGA Bets Show. We're going to be talking the Memorial. AK, what's going on, dude?
Oh, not much. Had a fun Sunday watching Spieth and Kokrak battle it out. I had Spieth, and I think you had the other guy, so it was kind of a little battle, but you probably enjoyed it a little more than I did.
Oh, yeah, bud. I know. It was a battle royale. We each had a nice little piece in there, but I was lucky enough. Kokrak got it done for me. Nice little 50-1 on that. I had some head-to-heads and stuff that I won, so it was a pretty good weekend betting-wise. Draftkings, I just can't get DraftKings right. Like, I had Kokrak and like as one of my favorite plays, and I don't know why. I can't put the whole thing together so far for DraftKings. It drives me nuts. I'll have the top right, and I can't get the bottom. And I can't get the bottom paired up like with low end guys, and I'll get the low end guys right, and I can't get the top. It's just that's how it's been all year.
Yeah, well, I had a guy withdraw on Thursday, like halfway through the round. So for our couple series, it just, I think that's twice this year it's happened to me where a guy's withdrawn on a Thursday, and it's like, at least play it out so I can get some kind of points.
Right. Yeah.
DraftKings has been harder this year than last year. I think more people are getting into it, and the margins are getting a lot smaller.
Yeah, there's a lot of sharp people out there is the issue. But before we keep going, make sure that if you're watching this on YouTube, you're smashing the like button and tell us who you think is going to win the Memorial Tournament at Jack's Place. If you're on the podcast, make sure you leave a 5-star review. Tell your friends, tell your family. It goes a long way towards what we're doing here. But really fun tournament last weekend. Obviously, coming off the win, winning is always fun. Looking to keep that going this week, and I think we got some bets. So let's go through the board. We'll go through DraftKings kind of as we go along as well. And we'll start right at the top of the board, and we'll kind of go through it like we normally do in the chunks of pricing and kind of talk through some stuff, because I do have a couple bets I've already made towards the top, but not all the way up there. But at the top of the board, John Rahm plus 1,300, Jordan Spieth plus 1,600, Bryson is plus 18. JT and Cantlay and Hovland all also plus 18. So those are the guys north of 20 to 1. I took a hard look at Jordan Spieth. I put 2 weeks ago, not this past one, but 2 weeks ago, I put one of my biggest bets of the year on him, and it didn't work out. And then, this past weekend when he was winning the entire tournament, I was like, you idiot. Now, how did you not bet him 2 weeks in a row? But he's always plays kind of well at this tournament. I don't think I'm going to bet anybody in this range. I think Hovland is in a really interesting one, and he's been playing great. It kind of goes along with the pricing, right, for DraftKings. So Jordan Spieth is actually the most expensive at 11.3, then Rahm 11.1. Bryson 10.9, Rory 10.6, Colin Morikawa 10.4, JT 10.2, and then Victor Hovland is 9.9. He's going to be crazy popular on DraftKings. Iggy, do you like any of the bets in this range, or who are your favorite DraftKings plays if you're not betting anybody up there?
I was looking at betting Cantlay, but at 18, it's a tougher number to get at. I know there are some books that have them at 20 or even 22 some places, but the one that we use, because New York State is terrible, has them at 18. So it's going to be close. I might throw a little bit on him, or a little bit more than I want to, but at this point, I don't really have money on him.
Yeah. Cantlay is super interesting because he went through a pretty poor stretch where he had 4 missed cuts in a row, right? So he missed a cut at the Players, Masters, RBC, and Wells Fargo. And then he came out for the PGA Championship, and he gained 7.9 on approach, 4.3 off the tee, 9.3 tee to green. He lost putting, but finished 23rd. So, I mean, a guy like that, you wonder, was it just a bad month and now are his irons back? Because his iron play is usually some of the best on tour.
Yeah, I think that the books either are really worried about him this week at 18, or they're trying to suck people in because he played well the last time he was out. but I think he should be a little further down because of his bad month stretch.
Yeah.
So it's kind of makes me nervous seeing him at 18 right there.
Yeah, he is priced down a little bit further. He's 9,500. So, DraftKings, I think he's going to be a good play. I do think that he's going to be pretty popular on DraftKings as well though. I can pull up the ownership projections here and take a look at those real quick. Let's see, where is he? 95. So he's coming in around 17. So Tony Finau's coming at the highest in that spot at 9,200. He's almost 20% right now. But then you got pretty much everyone in that range is high. Hovland at 17,
Yeah.
Xander 16, Cantlay 17, Hideki 16, Morikawa 16. So all those guys are coming in pretty high right now. The higher price guys, Spieth is only 12.5. Rahm is like 11. Bryson and Rory both under 9%. Justin Thomas coming in at 13. So I think that DraftKings wise, it's going to be interesting too, right? Because it's a 121 man tournament. Top 65 and ties make it. So it's going to be a huge number that makes the cut. Like I think what the 6 of 6s were like 25% or something this past week on average in the tournaments. So you're going to need 6 of 6 through. You got to find leverage some spots for DraftKings up top right now. North of 10K, I'm looking at Spieth and Rahm, maybe some Morikawa. I don't know how many people are going to try to get to Spieth and Rahm just because of you got the guys like the Hovlands, the Cantlays, the Finaus. All those guys are sucking up so much ownership. I do like though Tony Finau, and he's in the next group of pricing where you have Morikawa, Rory, and Xander all at 20. Hideki and Finau at 22, Connors at 25, Matt Fitzpatrick at 28. So that's that 20 to 30 range. I bet Tony Finau at 22. I'm going to be playing him in DraftKings, as is everybody else. We were talking before we got on here, and you're like, I don't get it. Why everybody bets him? He just never wins. So I don't know. Do you like anybody in this range? I mean, he's got an 8 and a 20 his last two. He's gained on approach his last two. Charles Schwab, he played phenomenal. He gained 4 strokes on approach, 3.8 off the tee, but he lost 4.5 strokes putting, and he still finished T20. Like he's playing well. He just doesn't win.
For like Finau, I think it's just better just to eat it and bet him top 5 or top 10. You're not getting nearly as good odds, but if you think about all the times that people would bet him to win and he comes 3rd or 4th, or you'd be profitable if you bet him T5, T10 all the time instead of hoping that he's gonna try to get that win that's Mr. Elusive out there.
I did do that too. I did bet him top 5 at 5-1, so got myself a little bit of insurance, like you said, just because he does have so many high finishes. He just tends to not close very often.
He's always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Exactly. Can't quite get it done. But like I said, I do like him in DraftKings too. It's going to come down to like how many people do I want to play in this top range. So I don't know. We'll see where we go there. Next pricing range. So 30 and up, 33. Louis Oosthuizen and Patrick Reed are both 33. Reed's actually gone down. He was 35 last I looked. We have Keegan at 40, Cam Smith, Joaquin Niemann, Scotty Scheffler, all at 45. Charlie Hoffman, Kevin Streelman, Shane Lowry at 50. Sam Burns at 55. And we'll stop there for right now. So in that range, I made a couple bets. I bet Joaquin Niemann at 45, and I bet Charlie Hoffman at 50. Are you liking anybody in this range?
I like Patrick Reed at 33. I bet him last week and he didn't win. And it seems that whenever I bet him the following week, he wins. So I'm you just talked about it with Spieth, that you were nervous all Sunday, and I don't want to have to go through that. So I'm betting Reed this week. And I'm thinking I'm going to get back on the anytime. I talked about it with Morikawa earlier this year, that anytime he drops, 35 to 40 below, I'm going to bet him. I think I'm going to start doing the same thing with Niemann. I did it a couple years ago when he finally won in August there. And I just think he's too good of a player to be at 45 to 1.
Yeah, so Neiman, we actually have a futures bet on him too. We got him at 71 to win the Open, and he's already gone down to 40 for that. Neiman just, I don't know what it is. He hasn't missed a cut in forever since, um, what is that? I don't even know what that, August 30th, no, August 23rd of 2020 is the last time he missed a cut. You know, he's gotten some middling finishes in there, but he continues to gain on approach. He continues to gain off the tee. He's actually been putting pretty well. He hasn't lost putting in 6 rounds, six his last 6 tournaments. So I like Neiman too quite a bit. I like him on DraftKings as well. It's good with him. It's so weird too because he's at 8,800, so it's gonna be really difficult to figure out how to. If I want, the Rom and the Spieth up top, I want to play Finau at 92. Can I get Neiman in at 88 as well? That's gonna be super tough. But I also bet Charlie Hoffman, like I said, at 50. He is $8,300 on DraftKings. He actually is not the. I don't know if I need to change my model, but he's number one in my model right now. But he has been on a tear with his irons: 6.6, 8.2, 7.9 on approach in his last three. 4 straight top 20s, 5 straight top 20s with a second and a third in there. So he's been on fire lately. He's been playing really well. Anybody else you like in there in that range for betting or DraftKings?
I like Cam Smith again.
Yeah.
More, he's 8,600 on DraftKings. I think he's one of the better players in the high eights this week over Sam Burns, Fitzpatrick and Oosthuizen. I'd rather take Cam Smith, but I'm also debating between Reed and Neiman. So I kind of think those three are going to be, my core three and on DraftKings, and kind of make a couple different lineups based around, two of those guys.
Nice. Yeah, I'm Louis right now. So Louis is 85, Lowry is 84, Charlie Hoffman is 83. Louis is really interesting because he has been playing really, really well as of late. His last 2 outings, he was second at PGA, eighth at Valspar. He gained 6.6 on approach and 5 on approach, and the one before that was 26 at the Masters, 41st at the Players, 6th at the WGC Mexico. So he's on a little stretch here. 11th at the Phoenix Open. So I mean, he's strung together quite a good couple months. I think he's going to be decently popular, but he's somebody that he kind of provides that winning upside too, right? So he's coming in like 14%. Charlie's around 16, and Lowry's the lowest of those three at 11. But all three of those guys are pretty interesting for DraftKings that I'll definitely take a look at. Next range here, where you go above 60 or above, Gary Woodland and Ricky Fowler are at 60. Billy Ho, Sung J M at 66. Todd Grillo, Henley at 70. Leishman at 75. Scott Day, Wallace at 80. Christian Bezaiden, Siwoo Kim, Stuart Sink, all at 90. And those are your people left under 100. Right away, I'm a sucker. I bet Ricky Fowler at 66.
Did you really?
I did. I bet Mark Leishman at 70, and he's actually drifted. I bet him at 70. He's at 75 now. But yeah, I got sucked into the Ricky thing.
I was just going to ask you how many people are betting Ricky because he had one good week in the last 3 years, and now the books are loving it, just eating up all that money again.
Well, a lot because I'm one of those idiots because, well, I'll tell you, he gained 4.5 in approach for the PGA Championship, right? And he gained 4.4 putting. His putting looked better than it has in 2 months, basically, where he's been just terrible with his putter.
Right.
His off the tee game isn't going to hurt him here. There's wide fairways. He's going to be able to hit fairways. If he can stay hot with the irons and that putting has come back, I think he could compete here. I really do. Is he going to win? No, because he doesn't. But in a year where we've seen stupid shit happening in golf, right? We've seen Spieth come all the way back. We've seen Stuart Sink win twice. Come on, it's Ricky's time. It's Ricky's time.
Correct, won twice. Lefty just won at 200.
Right.
It's
Lefty.
I mean, this year's been crazy for betting, but I Maybe it's just because I got burned so many times last year betting, 70-1 on Ricky. 66-1 on Ricky.
Yeah.
One of these weeks he's going to get his putter back, and it just never happened.
That just never happened. It just never happened. No, I know. Are you betting anybody in that range?
I'm look. I was kind of someone kind of like Fowler, but Sungjae Im. He played well the last time he was out, and I think he's someone that is just, 1 week away, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, how did I not bet him at 66?" But he's my new Fowler this year.
That's fair. That's fair. Um, Somebody I'm looking pretty hard at is, and I don't think I have room to bet him, but is Emiliano Grillo, who has been playing super, super well. He's third in my model. He's $7,700 in DraftKings. I'm definitely going to be playing him on DraftKings in that range, but his irons have been so good. He's another one. He just doesn't really win. So I'm not sure if I want to bet him, but I think DraftKings wise, he's a really good play. He's gained 7.1, 7.5, and 6.1 on approach in his last 3 tournaments, and he's gained 3.4, 1.3, 3.6 putting, which has usually been his downfall, but he might have found something a little bit as of recent with his putter. So I love him on DraftKings. Definitely going to play him on DraftKings. Keegan Bradley's gaining a lot of steam in that range for DraftKings. I don't know if I'm going to be there, but I do like Leishman. Leishman's an interesting one because he's somebody that when he hits, he usually wins, right? So he's usually either really, really bad or he wins. He's going to come under 10% on. He's going to be probably 7% on, if that. But he's gained mildly on approach in his last 3 tournaments. His off the tee game isn't great, but again, the wide fairways here, he should be fine. So I think that as long as his off the tee isn't hurting him, he's somebody when he gets hot with the iron and the putters, he just wins. So I like that at 70-1. And like I said, he had actually moved to 75, but I already bet him. So anybody above 100 that you're looking at?
He played amazing last week, but at 110-1 at Pat Kazire, I'm kind of leaning towards it. I'm trying to find a better number, honestly, to get him in the top 20. I think he's only missed, I think, 3 of his last 17 cuts. He's playing pretty consistent, and I don't think he's going to win, but I do like it as like a top 10 or top 20 bet for him.
Yeah, I don't mind Kazire. I actually took a pretty good look at him too. He's $7,300 on DraftKings. I don't know if
I like him on DraftKings too.
I don't know if I'm gonna bet him, but I do like him on DraftKings. He's third his last 2 times out and has been hitting his approaches like crazy. So I like that call. Pretty interesting one is your boy Aaron Wise.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Adam Hadwin.
Nah, Hadwin's my boy now too. He's at 150. What's he at DraftKings wise? See if I can pull him up.
I just passed him. 67.
Yeah, $6,700 on DraftKings. It's gained on approach in the last 3, made 2 cuts in a row. I mean, I don't hate that.
No. And for $6,700, when he gets playing like he has the last 3 weeks, he strings together like 7 or 8 weeks of that where he just, comes 40th, 50th place, but in the $6,500 range. Unless you're going for a home run, I'd rather just try to get the guy that's getting the single out there every time for you with Hadwin just getting the cut, scoring point.
They'll be good. Aaron Wise, 125-1, I looked pretty hard at. Max Homa is pretty interesting play on DraftKings, I think, down there. Luke List has been hitting the ball really well. He's at $6,900. So there's some names down there with him. Do you have anybody real low, any huge bombs or any cheap guys? Kyle Stanley is going to be just insanely popular. He's $6,100 on DraftKings, and I think he's over 20% owned right now.
For betting, I think I might bet Doug Gim. He's another 110-1. But for DraftKings, we kind of talked about Hadwin. I like Hadwin a lot for that 67. And who else? I just passed him. Now I can't even find it.
Well, I'll go through. Let's give our bets that you've done.
Oh, Alex Noren. I like Alex Noren at 6,800.
Yeah.
I kept passing it, and I was like, I thought he was a little cheaper than that, but I still think at 6,800, he's been playing well. He's another guy that doesn't miss many cuts. He doesn't give you much win equity, but at $6,700, I like to just try to find guys that are gonna make the cut and get me 4 days of points.
He's been playing better as of late too. Noren has. He's interesting. I hadn't really looked too deep. Approach game not great, but yeah, 3, 4, 5 cuts made in a row. Interesting. Gotta hit your approaches this week. That's gonna be the name of the game. Hit your approaches in tight, make some putts. It's gonna be pretty tough. We'll see how they play it because because the COVID stuff, they had the work day and then they had Memorial back to back at this place last year. Morikawa won it the first time, then Rahm won it the second time, but the course played totally different. It was ridiculously hard for the Memorial.
Is this when Rahm made that ridiculous putt in the playoff versus DJ?
No, this is the one where Rahm chipped in, and then they zoomed in, and they said the ball moved, and he got penalized 2 strokes.
Okay,
remember that?
And
He was like
Yeah.
done with the round, and they told him he got stroked, and he still won because he won by enough.
Yeah.
But it's like they penalized him way late for it.
Right, it's stupid. Especially, I know we've talked about it off air, but unless you have it zoomed in on every player,
Yeah.
it's really unfair to the top 9 guys in the world because they have every camera on them. Where the bottom guys, you can't see that with your naked eye.
No, they literally had to zoom in so far just to be able to even see like what was going on. It's like, guys, how do you penalize somebody for that where you don't even know? Because I don't know. There's a lot of things wrong with golf at points, and that's that in their coverage are 2 of my just things that drive me nuts with them. The stupid
Their
penalties and the coverage just sucks half the time. Well,
Their coverage is
9 out of 10.
atrocious. And they don't do. I mean, the new. I know we're getting off the topic of betting, but their new prize money they're giving away to like whoever has the best Twitter engagement or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it is making things a lot more interesting. Who knows if Bryson and Brooks would be having the Twitter beef if I think those 2 would still, but you see a lot of other guys being a little more active on Twitter.
I think that Bryson and Brooks probably don't, or at least I think Brooks doesn't like Bryson, but there's got to be some communication between their agents or somebody saying, let's beef this thing up. Let's make this thing even more than it is so we can both get some engagement and paid and whatever here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It does seem something, but whatever.
Or have like
entertaining.
a $5 million match in like November or something, like a Saturday, like just those 2 for $5 million or something.
Like the way Brooks is going, he's going to win it. He's doing that match with Portnoy too. Like,
right.
That's going to get so many eyeballs on it alone. You top that with the Bryson stuff. Excuse me. That I think that easily he's going to probably win.
Well, maybe PGA just knows they are atrocious at marketing, so they're like, "Here's our marketing money. You guys just do it yourself."
Right. Yeah. Let's let these guys hire their own agency and do it and promote themselves and promote the game. No, I hear you there. All right. Let's go DraftKings first. We'll go through the range. Just give your favorite play. So we'll go 10K and above. So that's JT, Morikawa, Rory, Bryson, Rahm, Spieth. My 2 favorite guys on there, if I had to rank, would be Spieth, Rahm, Morikawa.
Yeah, I agree with that order for that. I might throw Rahm in over Spieth just because he is a little bit cheaper. Gives you a little bit more flexibility, but
yeah,
I mean at that price,
he's also the defending champ too, Rahm is. So, but they both of these guys play really well at Memorial, generally speaking. So even when Spieth was terrible, he played well. When he was going through a slump, he still played well at the Memorial. In that next range, the 9K range, I think my 2 favorite, just like everybody else, is Cantlay and Finau. I'm playing Finau. I want to play Finau this week. I bet Finau this week. I know I'm gonna regret it, but that's where I'm going with it. Who's your favorite in the 9K range? Hovland too. Hovland at 99. He's gonna be so popular. That's just the chalk range.
Yeah, I like Patty Reed. I think he's going to be a little under. And at 9,100, I think he has the best value, and he has the same win equity as all the other guys.
Yeah,
And he's
probably more.
cheaper.
More.
Yeah, he definitely has more than Tony Finau.
He has. I mean, of all those guys in the 9K range, he has probably the most. He wins more than Hovland. He wins more than X. He wins more than Cantlay, Hideki, Corey Connors, Finau, Scheffler. He
Yeah,
wins more than all those guys. So, in the $8,000 range, Charlie Hoffman is probably my favorite play, and then I'll say Joaquin Niemann.
I am going to go with Neiman, and probably it in the 8K range for me. I'm not a big 8K range guy this week.
That's the tough thing too. Is
I like you talked about Charlie Hoffman 8,300, but
this week.
Cam Smith at 86 is intriguing to me, but I'm probably just going to stick with Neiman.
Fair. If you look 75 to 800, this is a range right here. I bet Leishman already, but I think the next play that I'm going to make is Christian Bezuidenhout, who tends to pop at these bigger tournaments. He's not very good off the tee because he doesn't hit it very far, but he's an incredible putter. He putts really well in fast greens, which these are going to be. And like I said, he plays well at the tough tournaments, right? So I think I like Bezuidenhout, and he's going to be. I think he's gonna be pretty cheap at pretty low owned at $7,600. So I think those would be my two favorite for the 75 to 8,000 range.
What's Adam Scott's own percentage? Can you look that real quick?
Yeah, how much is he?
7,900, and I just feel
6%. What is Adam Scott been doing? When is it? Let's see when the last time he even played golf. So he played at the PGA Championship, and then before that it was the Masters. So he basically plays like maybe once a month.
Yeah, he's living his best life.
Dude, the guy's made his money. He's won his majors. So
and he still comes out and performs well though when he playing that. He doesn't really miss cuts. He's kind of pretty consistent.
He's been bad. His biggest issue has been off the tee, where he's been losing, which is crazy for him. Who is normally because he gained 0.4 on approach in the PGA Championship. He got caught. He gained 2.3 putting, which is atypical. He's usually not a very good putter, but he lost 1.5 off the tee, and he lost 2 strokes tee to green. So pretty atypical round for him, where he's gaining putting and losing tee to green.
Right.
He low owned under 7% for a guy that you never know. He could pop. Like you said, he gets hot with the irons. He's somebody that could compete for sure. 7,000 to 7,500 range. This might be, I don't know. I'm looking at Aaron Wise at 7,000, and then maybe like a Stuart Sink at 75. He's 10th in my model, but it's like, can this guy keep putting out these performances? Like 19, 12, 1, 37, 30 has gained on approach in his last, 5. He's playing so well. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like he's a good play again this week. It's just, he's so old. It's like, do you trust that? But I don't know.
Right. We talked about him earlier, but I like Pat Kazire.
Yep. I like that call. 73 is pretty interesting. I know you said Doug Gim too. Gim is somebody. Look at the proximity range from 175 to 200, where a lot of shots come from, and he's actually first in my model of the last 24 rounds in that range. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And then the cheapies down here, there's quite a decent amount of 6,000 guys, which I like because I want to use some of those top guys. So a lot of the stuff I'm going to be doing, I'm going to try to jam in some of those top players, and then I'm going to try to drop down to this range. We talked to Adam Hadwin, and I mentioned Luke Liss at 69. Henrik Norlander is an interesting name at 64, who played a little decently. Kyle Stanley, I want to play him at 61 because he's just been hitting his irons so well, but he is somebody that is going to be so popular. He's, like I said, he's almost 16% owned right now, which is really tough for that. But another interesting name is Tyler McCumber. He's $6,000. He's the flat man. He gained 3.6 on approach last week at Charles Schwab, but he lost 5.4 putting. So he's somebody I'm kind of looking to at flat min, and that, if I wanted to try to get crazy and put two of those, if I try to squeeze in Spieth and Rahm or something, I could go Stanley and McCumber down at the bottom and potentially do that. But
No, you don't want to play the Zhang gang?
Zhang Zhujiang, the bad boy of Chinese golf. You know whose name in here that I had not seen in forever is Hao Tong Li.
Yeah.
So I looked
because he hasn't made a cut this year, has he?
He hasn't played in the United States on the PGA Tour since August 9th, 2020.
That's probably why I haven't.
Yeah, that's what I said. I saw him. I was like, holy cow, when's the last time he's even played? And sure enough, it's been almost a year. It's been almost a year since he's played in the event. I thought that was crazy. But all right, let's go through it quick. Go ahead. What'd you say?
Sorry.
What'd you say?
No, I was just thinking out loud. It's nothing.
Okay, let's who are we betting? I'll start. I bet Finau at 22, Neiman at 45, Charlie at 50, Ricky, which is I'm already regretting it, Ricky at 66, and then Leishman at 70. Pretty much all those guys I sprinkled in the top 5 with as well. I'm going to be looking for some head-to-heads too. I did pretty good at those head-to-heads last week. I think I hit 4 of them in total that I bet. I went 4 for 4, which I'm going to see if I can exploit some of those matchups again, if I can find something I like.
I'll start at the bottom with Gim. I'm betting if I can find a Kazire top 20 or top 10 line that is juicy, I will do that. I'm debating about Im, but I am going to be betting Neiman, and I already have a bet in on Reed.
I like it. I like the Patrick Reed one. I think this is a good course for him. Off the tee's not going to kill him. Just, putt well on fast greens, and he can do that with the best. And people are going to miss greens. You're going to have to be able to get up and down a little bit as well. So, last prediction I'm going to have you make. How much do we win our scramble tournament by this weekend? How bad do we beat Brad and Carl's team?
I'm going to be really bold here and say we're going to win in a playoff.
Wow, I like it. I want it. What's the playoff? What are we going to make the playoff? I don't know if this is in the official rules for the 4-man scramble this weekend. I'm going to say you're going to have to play like what? Is it going to be a 3-hole playoff or just sudden death?
I was going to say a 3-hole playoff. We're just going to have to go like
1, 2, and 3 at the club we're playing at is brutal because you get one the par 3, which is really hard, and then 3, which is a really hard tee shot.
Yeah, I was going to say 17, 18, and 1. But that's 2 par 3, so let's skip that.
Yeah, we'd have to probably do 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3, yeah. But we're gonna win. But we're gonna be up so much in the playoff. It's not even gonna. We're gonna win it in 2.
We're gonna win. We're winning by 2 strokes. We'll just say that. Brad and Carl, we're coming for your ass. Let's go. All right, fellas. This is Ballin' Over Beers PGA Bets show. This is for the Memorial. He's AK How at Kenny True Love on Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at Ballin' Over. You can find me on Twitter at JDiz1617. Like I said, make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, smash the button on the way out. Tell us who you think is going to win the Memorial. AK, who do you think is going to win?
Patty Reed.
I'm going to say Tony Finau. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys later. We'll talk to you next time.